Hello, this is Bishop Doherty of the Diocese of Lafayette-in-Indiana. During the year of the Eucharistic revival, we're going to be meditating on the lives of some of our saints. And the reason we do this is not to do so much of a hero worship of them and their accomplishments and their credits, but to look at the life of people who live very disparate, different kinds of backgrounds, and to have a sense of wonder about what it is that God is doing in the life of that person. Some of them were very young, like Carlo Acutis, and some are older, like Manuel Gonzalez Garcia, who come from different backgrounds. Also, one of the reasons the Eucharistic revival will be looking at saints is, especially for some people a lot younger than me, they think in the old days it was easier to be a saint because life was simpler, we knew less science and so forth. Well, Carlo Acutis was kind of a computer expert, a nerd, if you will, died very young, so he was in a modern age with all of the distractions that youth would have today. But when we look at Manuel from years ago, the political and economic times that these people lived in presented tremendous challenges. So we can't look at saints of the old days and think that life was simpler for them. There were wars, they had their own plagues and pandemics, assassinations, religious persecutions. They had all kinds of things that made their life very difficult. And yet the kernel of their faith very often centered on the Eucharist. And they drew a great deal of strength from there. There's an old line about a Christian only has to explain God, an atheist has to explain everything else. So these dedicated Christian men and women who are saints had a real focus, and they didn't have to let what was going on in the rest of the world bother them. They had their duties, their loves, their friendships, their vocations, but they remained centered in Christ. And they're wonderful people to be able to look at as we're wondering, how is it in the busyness and craziness of my life, can I find a quiet place to rest with the Lord in the sacraments, but also in prayer. So maybe you could think about your baptismal name if you have a saint, and perhaps you have a confirmation name. You could recall that and wonder about the history of that saint's time and wonder what were the challenges that they faced, and ask ourselves, was their time any less dangerous or chaotic than what we think we're living through now? If your life right now is totally serene and peaceful, give me a call. I'd like to meet you. God bless you.